This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Boonsboro American Legion. Also, welcome to our town's public information for Child Pedestrian Safety, Six Boulevard, Campus Avenue, Maryland Avenue, Realignment, and intersection project. We are in a American Legion, home that represents veterans and people that served in our armed forces. Would you please rise, remove your hats, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by that with a moment of silence for our veterans that have passed away. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please bow your heads. Amen. May you see. After all, we're living for these men and women that served in the armed forces. Several of them sacrificed their lives. We would not be able to have meetings like this or the freedom that we enjoy from day to day. Thank you all very much. Now, I would like to announce we're here to discuss the Child Pedestrian Safety for Chase 6. Campus Avenue and Maple Avenue. Anything else? We're not. We're here to hear people's comments and to discuss this. And I'm also proud to announce we had a productive meeting with representatives from the Washington County Public School Board on Thursday, August 11th. And we have an agreed upon concept plan to use in planning the new intersection of Campus Drive and Chase 6 Boulevard. This will accomplish our goals of student and traffic safety. We are still in the conceptual stage. We have not taken formal action on the plan. Washington County Public Schools has not taken formal action because of state law. The county will need to be involved for purposes of any land transfer to or from Washington County Public Schools, and we have not yet spoken with the county. So we've made great headway. I'd like to ask Alicia Ram, she's the attorney for the county commissioners. Would you like to add anything to that, ma'am?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going pretty loud. Thank you, Mayor Long. I just want one correction. I'm from the Board of Education. So I just wanted to make that clear enough for county commissioners. I would be in agreement with everything Mayor Long said. We've had very productive conversations. There is mutual interest between the town and the Board of Ed to improve student safety in that intersection.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I'm going to turn the program over for a project summary with our town planner, Raleigh Stanley. Raleigh? I was going to hand you the mic.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Riley Stanley, and I'm town planner for the town of Boonsboro. I just wanted to give you a little rundown of the project we've been working on. In 2006, the Fletcher's Grove neighborhood was annexed into the town of Boonsboro. The plan has always been to connect Chase 6 Boulevard to Maple Avenue. Since 2000, sorry. Okay. So since 2006, the town has been working with the developer Fletcher's Grove to make this intersection happen. Since November of 2021, the town has been working with Fletcher's Grove developer, State Highway Administration, Potomac Edison, local residents, and many other agencies to install a traffic lighted intersection. The current need for this project is due to the safety of both pedestrians and motorists traveling Maple Avenue. The police department has counted around 20 school-aged children running across Maple Avenue from this development each day before school. Another issue with this project with work to resolve is that buses are being routed throughout the town. Sorry. Throughout the town, especially in downtown, causing major delays using the infrastructure that is not meant to be traveled by these types of vehicles. This is wearing heavily on our road system. Lastly, any ambulance traveling the Maple Avenue area needs to go down to the light and back up Maple Ave, which causes the response time to be longer and could impact the overall community. Now more than ever, this project is for children's safety and not the benefit. Boonsboro is a family community, and nothing is more important than the safety of our children. If you can look at the monitors around the room, there is a yellow line that is representative of the intersection that is proposed. On the right side above the yellow line is the current stop boundary property where the newly aligned Campus Avenue would go through. On the same side, on the same side, it will go through, below the yellow line is where the proposed Napoli property will be. With this mutually agreed upon concept plan, we are looking at around 0.75 of an acre. So that is where we are at right now.
Thank you, Raleigh. At this time, I would like to introduce some of our guests that are with us. You're welcome if they would like to make any statement about this. First of all is Maryland State Senator Paul Quarterman.
Thank you, and thank you, Mayor, for facilitating this conversation. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here this evening. You know, the Boonsboro area and South County have always been a priority to our office since we began representing this area. Last legislative session, we had the opportunity to sit down and meet with the mayor, the school board, and some other individuals specific to this project and all the benefits that it will bring to this community. We pursued funding last legislative session, and we secured that funding to help for the project to become a reality. That was a very important thing, I think, not only for the community, but also for all the stakeholders involved. As the conversations have been ongoing, we've helped facilitate conversations with the school board and the town and the community. So much so up to a couple of weeks ago, where we all sat down and had a conversation, which I believe has helped lead to this, we'll call it understanding, that was, you know, the mayor spoke about at the beginning. So I'm confident going forward that this will all work out for the benefit of the community here. I'm interested to hear what everyone here has to say, because obviously this is an important issue for the community, but I think you'll find that everyone here is on the same page. I think there's just been some communication challenges across the board. But hopefully here this evening, we can eliminate those concerns, and we can leave here united in one front to be able to produce what's best here for the community and provide the safety and infrastructure that is so needed here in the community of Boonsboro. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and feel free to reach out to me as you see necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. We have Maryland State Delegate Neil Merritt.
Good evening. First, I just want to say thank you to every single person that's here. This is a big safety issue that we have here at Boonsboro. And you want to say, Mayor, it's good news. We started off the meeting by saying there's at least a tentative agreement between the Chase 6 developer, the Board of Education, the Town of Boonsboro County Commissioners, and the State Highway Administration. And let me just say, I think to speak for everyone in the room, I'd like to see formal action happen as soon as possible with every single one of those entities. I don't see anyone from the county commissioners here, but hopefully that message will get back to them loud and clear that we want this agreement and we want it now. We need to make sure that that signal happens on Maryland 66 for the safety of our children. It's interesting, my kids play soccer right there in Boonsboro, at least in the recreational field. And this will be a benefit to anyone who's using the fields on Saturdays, not just during the weeks. Also, my son is considering going to Boonsboro High School. This coming fall, it's homeschooled all the way through, but he might be going there. So I want that signal to make sure my son is safe if he goes to this school. Also, in the Board of Ed, there's been some concern about Center Street and some of the traffic using that road. I think if the signal is placed there on 66, we can get rid of some of that traffic from the buses that are on Center Street. And also, I know the State Highway Administration is here tonight. I just want to encourage you all. We talked a couple years ago about Schaefer Park Drive. They have some HIV, hazard identification beacons out there for when we have events here in Boonsboro, and I'd like to see that happen as soon as possible. I know there's been a delay, and I'm not sure why. Normally it takes about a year for those to get in, but it seems like it's been longer. So I'd love to hear an update on that. But again, I want to thank every person that's here. We care about the safety of Boonsboro. We care about our kids. I know that's why you're here, and hopefully we'll see some very good action within the next month. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dylan. We also have Maryland State Delegate Bill Wilder.
Thank you very long. I came this evening to listen, not to speak, so I look forward to hearing your comments. Thank you.
No one from the county commissioners are here. State Highway Administration Assistant Director Engineer Linda Hoffberger.
I'm actually going to follow Delegate Weidman's example, kind of care more as a technical resource so that as we have a conversation, if we have questions about what's viable, what's permitted along the state route, I just want to help keep the conversation going.
Washington County Board of Education already introduced Melissa Ram. We also have We also have Jeff Pugh. Jeff, would you like to make any comments? And sir, I hope I don't mess up your name, Dr. Savani. Yes, sir. Would you like to say anything, sir?
Yeah, just
Here, I'll give you the microphone.
I believe I can project.
Okay.
So, just want to thank the town and our legislators and everyone that come out tonight. Our board, as you heard, remains committed and focused on the safety here in Boonsboro. That has been a strong focus of our Board of Education. That's why there's been a tremendous amount of engagement over the last couple of weeks. I know our team has met with, as Senator referenced, multiple times, and we are pleased that we're making progress. So thank you. Certainly, as I mentioned, we're here to listen, but our board remains engaged and focused on providing a safe and secure opportunity for all.
Thank you, sir. Oh, and we talked about a traffic signal. There will be a walk signal there too, where the students will be able to push a button. All traffic will have to stop in all four directions, and a little white man will show up for you to walk, and you'll have so many seconds to get across there. So that's one good safety that would really help out a lot. The Boonsboro Police Chief, Kevin, would you like to say anything? Boonsboro Fire Company Chief Vern Walker. Vern, would you like to say anything, sir?
Just quickly,
You want the mic?
no. Our fire company voted unanimously at our last membership meeting to follow the town's recommendations. We'll show our full support behind these safety initiatives. We'd also actually like to add one caveat to this, if we can. When you're looking at these subdivisions, whether it's Washington County or nationwide, have you ever noticed there's only one way in, one way out? To add to these safety concerns, put that second egress out there, whether it's a natural disaster or man-made, say a truck wrecks at that intersection, how do you get to work? How do I evacuate your family if I need to go a half mile? So it's like some of that considered into this thing. And in the future, nobody's here from the county, unfortunately, but you're looking at these subdivisions, maybe start looking at access egress issues before you stamp the final approval. I know the town can put a little weight into it, so appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We have Boonsboro Ambulance Rescue Company President, Mary Winston, Mary King. I just heard a comment out here. Mistake.
Thank you all for having me tonight. Appreciate you all being here too. Probably stated. The ambulance company has to go an extra 6/10 of a mile to the second intersection to take Route 66. And then it's another 6/10 or more to the school intersection that we're speaking of. It would make a quicker response to the schools, to Kansas Heights and areas there. Right now we travel Mill Point Road, which is windy and slim. We have large units that run that area. It would make it a safer trip for us. The biggest thing is the safety for our children. I don't have any children, I have dogs, but my dogs might go walk across there. So we support the town, Board of Education, and anybody involved in this. I just have one question. You said there's going to be a walk button there?
Yes.
Is there any chance of getting up?
Yeah.
Up on it, that's the fire and rescue, and button, stops traffic there.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody.
That's why we invite you. I'd like to introduce our town council, assistant mayor, Tony Nally.
Here to lesson and learn.
Councilmember Mary Lee Burns. So, any comment? Ricky Weaver. Councilmember Ray Hanson. Eric Kitchen. Eric doesn't have anything to say.
First comment.
And our timekeeper is going to be, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see Terry there. Rick was leaning forward, he blocked you out. Sorry about that. Also, I'd like to introduce the gentleman that this affects a lot too, it's Scott Gilby. He's the property owner that we're taking with the street group. Scott, would you like to say anything, sir?
In support of this, so I'm here for questions.
Scott has been very cooperative, and since we asked him about working with us, he definitely right off the bat said yes for the safety of the kids. Our Fletcher Grove community developer is Jim Draper. Jim, do you have anything you'd like to add, sir?
I'm here to listen and learn. And Scott McAwee has been an absolute prince in this process. He's been more concerned about safety than anything else in this issue. Doesn't want to see any more children running across Maple Avenue. Thank you for coming.
I've also noticed back in the back, we have a gentleman standing that's a member of the school board, Stan Stalker. Would you like to say anything, sir? Okay. Oh, listen. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't see you there.
It's all right. As Mr. Waddle said, I'm here to listen and to observe. And I thank Dr. Sabine for his words. I think he expressed sentiments of the board very well.
Yes, he did. And like I said in my statement in the beginning, we've probably made some great headway in the last 2 weeks. So everything's looking good. So hopefully people will-
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here. Brian. Okay, the first person to sign up, we do have a 3-minute limit. Yvette's got signs here, she'll hold up, you get longer than 2 minutes, and she got 1 minute to go, and then she's got a stop sign for you. First person signed up is Krista Davis.
Hi, everyone. My name's Krista Davis, and I have a son at Boonsboro High School, and I serve on the board for the Crestview HOA. My son crosses that road to go to AC&T with his friends after school, so it's not just the development there in Fletcher's Grove that's across from the Weis Market that's being impacted by the crosswalk. So their kids, also my daughter came up the whole way through elementary, middle, high school, with the lack of a crosswalk there, which was dangerous on several occasions because she had a friend who lived in Fletcher's Grove and she would walk home with her after school to spend the night at her house. So it's not just Fletcher's Grove. And I've observed the speeding coming down Maple Road and the congestion when school lets out, and it's kind of an accident waiting to happen. And it's been like that for a really long time. So I support the project, and I know the Crestview HOA, I've talked to the other board members, and they also support this project. And we think it's pretty much a no-brainer, so you can't put a price on safety, especially when it comes to our kids.
Thank you. Ethan? I can't make out what your last name is. I don't know where it's Loudman.
Yes. So I'm here as just as a candidate for the Board of Education. I think this is phenomenal. I actually wanted to learn and understand what was going on, and to be able to see this turnout is amazing. There's no doubt after seeing all of this and getting some additional information that it is the right thing to do. There's always additional considerations, I have no doubt. But the main thing that I wanted to say, aside from the importance of public safety, et cetera, is that this turnout is fantastic and it needs to continue, because, you know, your town council, you know, regardless of all the other issues that may or may not be in play here, or may or may not have been in play here last year, but your town council has been to the Board of Ed for a year now, 3 different times. And it is only now that all of you showed up that progress has been made. And this isn't the first time. About a year and a half ago, the Board of Ed wanted to close Hancock and Cascade, and that was going to happen until the parents.
Sir, we'd like to keep this Boonsboro. We're not
Yeah.
here for anybody else.
Yeah, I understand. I'll correct that. But just your participation is very, very important beyond just this particular event, because there's lots of changes that occur, and without your continued participation, they will occur without your input. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Ken Board?
Thank you. I'm Ken Lord. I'm the mayor of Keedysville. I'm here on behalf of the town. I just want to say thank you to Mayor Long and the town and everybody who's out here tonight. Great turnout. It's great to see so many familiar faces, but I'm not going to belabor this thing. I really don't know anybody who's against this proposal. So I'm happy to hear that there's maybe a tentative agreement since last Thursday. I'm interested to see where that goes. So I did write to the board on August 2nd. On behalf of the town, just showing our support. I have 3 kids that have come through Boonsboro. I'm familiar with the issues personally. Yeah, so it sounds like good news is coming soon, and I'll just hand it over to the next guy.
Matt Thomas? This is why we need to use.
Thanks for everyone's time. New resident living on Maple Avenue. Biggest issue is speed, plain and simple. I see it out my front window, day in, day out, all hours of the day. Nothing seems to be done, no consequences, nothing changes. Still, there's enforcement, traffic safety issues, lights, speed cameras. Nothing's gonna get better. Even with the intersection, my big concern with that, people are just going to accelerate, fly past busy heights. So needs to be speed enforcement.
Rich Hawkins? I'm Richard Hawkins, I was on the council for years, for the night, remember? But, it's nice to see everybody here that's involved and interested in what's going on. I think it's a great idea what we're doing. I started working on this project here 20-some years ago. This is where we are, we finally got to this point. Couple concerns I have, not about safety of it. Lighting, with the lighting be alternated between two main streets. I know you're gonna have a wall sign in there. Will it also have alternating equally between the Chase Boulevard and it works? Because that would be key to the other way. You go square where, I see it down here, square with the lights, walls, and not always by. But the other thing is that I had a little concern about is the crossing between the development, which would be on the other side of the avenue there, and the kids crossing the road there, they're going to walk. I noticed we're not at that set of the stage of planning and so forth, but the new houses, if you have this map and look at it, you can see how many, that's not all of them. There's more coming to the bottom part of it, it's not on there. But there's going to be a mass of people there, you're going to have massive traffic. You know, I hope it's accounted for nicely. And the other thing is that there's two crunch times of school delivery here, 8:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock. I live on Maple Avenue 101, right on the corner of the avenue in the alley. Been there 34 some years, and I've seen things grow, the growth of the town. And if you go in there at 2 o'clock, wait in line, I've seen cars parked up, pick up their sons or daughters, the whole way down on Main Street. So the police officers had two called about it, said it's a concern of safety and infraction and so forth. And those are the two peak hours, 8:30. You will work at peak But that is the two peak periods of time. If you've ever been out there and lived there where I live on the corner of those two things, and try to get out and try. You better not try because you'll wait, those get hit, and it's very dangerous there, and that little hill there, so take that into consideration when you look at the planning of the road there and the ingress and egress of Maple Avenue. I appreciate it. A lot of the parents here in the area would appreciate some control there, wouldn't just have them back the whole way out down there on the Main Street. Okay, thanks for coming.
Linda, what I think he was trying to say, you're talking, he's got the mic. You gotta give things back. Linda, what I think he was trying to refer to, and I'm not 100% sure, is with that traffic that will be synchronized with the one at Main Street. Now, it will get messed up when the kids push the button to walk across, but outside of that, it will be synchronized with that one, so the traffic doesn't back up. I think is that what you're talking about, Rich?
Yeah, it's backed up, that's one reason, but the other reason is, the timing of the lights, square lights aren't timed exactly. They did traffic studies down there during non-peak hours, which, you've been down there between 4 o'clock and 5:30, so you got it backed up over the hill to get there in line to get to the stop line.
Right.
I don't hope that doesn't happen up there and it's modified.
So you understand what you're saying? Okay. You'll check into that. Is there any way that you all, here she comes. Here sooner or later.
So as you know, we have two signals on Main Street right now, down at Paul Street and again Maple Avenue. They're far enough apart that those hours of the day, they don't really need to be synchronized, but I take your point, especially, coming westbound in the afternoon. If there have been some changes made there over the years that make things better, but we're also trying to maintain, the talent we have, to really put in something that is going to work like as a whistle all day long, takes more width, more lanes. You kind of lose the buildings that line the other side of the road. So It's a balance, it's a delicate balance, and in the case of this new signal, we will look at how far away it is from the existing signal at the enable to see how coordinated they need to be. That will be part of the planning process.
Thank you.
Rob Wetzel.
But it sounded like you all have made some resolution, so that was my biggest concern when I came here. I'm Sergeant of Fire Police from South County, and so our biggest thing for us is safety. When we're on scene for any accident, fire, whatever, we're there to protect our first responders. And I just want to make sure that we're there to protect our children. So it sounds like you all are a lot closer than what you were before. I read the article and everything, so that's the reason I showed up.
I received a email letter from Jessica Fuller at 113 Maple Avenue. She basically had the same thoughts and concerns that Matt had. That is a 302 Maple Avenue. She did one time witness a auto accident. There were 3 kids that ran across the street, and one car saw and slowed down and stopped. The car behind them didn't stop. There was a rear end collision. So it will help out immensely. We are working hard, and we really have great confidence that we're going to reach some kind of agreement and get this stuff done. That takes care of all the citizens' comments. Since that moved quite freely, does anybody, Ole, you have anything you'd like to add from fire and rescue for the county? Okay. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Jordan Fairman. I live in Third Circle, which is on the bottom side. Are they going to propose sidewalks and lighting? Because of the fact that when they go to the winter hours, some of these kids are going to be walking across in the dark. I don't think they need to be on that. I'm a retired Marine, I'm good. But, you know, my concern, I've been there 20 years. I don't have kids. I see the kids going across that field. There are multiple places that they could be in danger based on where predators can hide. Are those trees going to be removed? Is there going to be sidewalks? Is there going to be lighting?
There will be sidewalks on both sides. Coming out of Fletcher's Grove, J6, there will be sidewalks. There will be new sidewalks on that will connect to the current sidewalks that are there on Campus Drive. I'm sorry. As far as lighting, we'll have to talk to State Highway about that. Which is like you said, they do have lighting football, and a lot of students will walk back to football games. So that would be nice that would be at that intersection. So we will talk to State Highway and see what we can do.
And there's a few areas of trees that are along that pathway that you're looking at there. Are they going to be removed? Okay.
Just not exactly sure how many yet, but there will be probably a few of them that'll have to come out to that ready to go there to find out.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the kids'
Oh,
safety.
I agree with you 100%.
You know, the children are our future. We have to make sure that they are protected from all areas. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your question.
Are you asking about the Fletcher's Grove part, or are you talking about?
The part to the left.
So Fletcher's Grove will be our part, and we have ordinances for lighting and sidewalks that we will have to follow. So
Cool.
yes, there will be
Awesome.
lighting.
She's on the ball.
She always did.
Yes, sir.
How many units are going to be in the new Fletcher Grove thing, and is the developer contributing any monetary funds to the development of the road and everything like that?
Yep. Just give me a second.
I can answer part of that. The latter part, yes. Yes, he is contributing to the design of it. He has to help contribute to that intersection being put in there.
All right, so it won't all be state and county funds. The developer will be obligated to put some in money.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
But you don't know how many residential units?
He'll have to answer that for you.
Okay.
Or him or Raleigh.
Okay. So there are between the part under the Chase Six Road and above it, there will be 107. And that is a mix.
Total?
Yep, and that is a mix between single family and duplexes for age restricted.
That's where your age restricted 55 and up developments is going to be going into. Something that we need here in Boonsboro. I know I'm getting off tracks, but we're losing a lot of residents to South Point and North Point. So this will help keep some of our residents, they retire, stay here in Boonsboro. Anybody else have any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Quick follow up on the statement earlier about the speed and the enforcement. I've wondered for years why we don't have speed cameras there, lighting up our school districts around the county. Is there any reason behind that?
No, ma'am, we have looked into that, and we are still looking at it, and still going to discuss it at our council meeting. We do have a sign that we put out there. It records your speed. Kevin, you want to tell us what you found on it?
To give you an idea on how many vehicles they own, that's coming in town, and people are such a, there's about 1,800 cars that do that. July, when school's not in, it's 1,400, so you're talking only about 200 vehicles. So there's a lot of traffic, and with this intersection, the people that's doing the week, they don't have to run that line. They come across the new Chase Boulevard, it's going to cut a lot of traffic and speeders from the school down to Maple or to North Main Street. So the cameras, everybody said, put speed cameras up or speed more important. We sit out there, regularly, every day we sit out there. If I know you need the exact numbers, stop by the office, look for our stats, and show you how many hours we set there a day and how many stops. The speed cameras work where the speed cameras are set. Before and after, they don't work. I was just on vacation with the guy that's up in Mount Main at Greenbrier. He got a speed camera right in front of the house. He can tell you, speed up, just put a camera, hit the tape brakes, when they just do that little pause when the picture's taken, come back into the gas and go on again. If the cameras work so great, why are they still generating so much money for the county? So, you know, if they work, the county would be making any money on these cameras. They're making tons of money. The new training facility proves that. So, the cameras is a deterrent to some people, but not to most. They just pay the $40 more. Again, with this intersection and this new road, it's going to cut the amount of traffic from Campus Drive to North Main Street, I'd say.
Also with that, buying school buses. As they're coming out of the schoolhouse, if their route goes all to 40 or go out to 68, they won't have to drive down and try to make a hard right turn that hill. And it never fails. Nobody pays attention to the state highways white line that they have there, stay behind that. They've got to inch out in front of it. And that just makes it worse yet for their drivers. This way they got a straight shot across, and then they can go on right up all of the 40 or going straight through 68. And to echo what Kevin said about speed cameras, they're not always accurate. We got a notice that we owed $80 to the state of Maryland for going through the Harbor Tunnel without paying. And our license tag, one number was off. Instead of a G, it was a 6. And the license plate that it referred to was on my Chrysler Sebring convertible. This tag was on a tractor trailer, and they didn't even look at the state. We're from Maryland. That tractor trailer was from Massachusetts. And we got the bill. Luckily, we called the company and they took care of it. they're not 100% accurate like a lot of people say they are, but they do help. So, any other questions? Oh, I'm sorry, Brett. Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
This flyer said that the proposed plan was rejected by the Washington County Board of Education. There wasn't one mention tonight, but why they objected. It seems like everything is all satisfied. There was no reason to have the meeting. So can anybody tell me why the Board of Education rejected it and what were some of the objections?
Well, one reason why we're still having this meeting, sir, there was a lot of information going around out there. It was not completely accurate. We heard rumors that there were people from out here at Crestview complaining that it was going to back traffic up past in their development. They were going to have trouble getting in and out. If anything, it's going to help those people up there. I mean, Kinsey Heights, I'm sorry. I get Crestview and Kinsey Heights mixed up. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's been a rough weekend, it's only Monday. But at least to show you all were listening. And as far as with working with the school board, I just think we had some miscommunication to start with. And after we sit down and everybody helped, it shows what you can do when you work together. Leslie, would you or Jeff like to add anything to that?
Well said.
Thank you. So we think things are going to work out fine. Hopefully we can get an agreement that we can get started on this road. Hopefully before they shut the blacktop plants down for the winter, but you never know. Yes, sir. You need the mic?
Probably not, but I'll use it anyway, just to give a good representation of using a mic.
Okay.
All right, so I'm here first and foremost as a concerned citizen, but also as the former assistant mayor. Couple things I want to say. Number one, if you look at your little flyer, there's two specific directions here. There's one that's completely wrong and one that's completely right. Should be easy to see. But I really want to give a lot of kudos to the town staff for seeing this as a problem, working with the developer, and now with our government officials. The school board takes a lot of time, guys. It's very much appreciated from a standpoint of a citizen who sits in and listens to these meetings, who's been involved in these meetings. So kudos to Riley, Paul Mantello, the town manager, who's not here tonight, and the current council. So thank you.
Thank you, Art. I would like to go ahead with that and apologize to my staff. I'd be lost without these people. But that over here, she does her water billing. I shouldn't have told people that now they're yelling. Brian over here, he does her accounting for us. She's our office manager. She's the office manager, and I think my private secretary, because whenever I need anything printed off, I just shoot her an email and it's in a box for me. So, and Raleigh's new to us. God, we're glad we have her. She's doing a fantastic job for us and as our town planner. Of course, Chief over here, be lost without him too. He does an excellent job for us. We're just a small town. We only have 7 police officers. We'd love to have more, but unfortunately, we don't want to raise your taxes. We don't want to raise your water bill unless we have to. But we appreciate everything our staff does to help us out. And I know they take a lot of flack sometimes because we get some angry customers, but that's everywhere. And one other thing to one other person I like to recognize, Roger Mano. He's in the background. He's past state senator whip, and he's working with us to help secure funds and everything to help us out with all of our projects, our reservoir and everything else. We'd be lost without you too, sir. Thank you very much for all the hard work you've done for us. Anybody else in there have anything else? If not, that would be my closing. Oh, you got Owen? Okay, yes, ma'am. Yeah, she asked about a widened campus avenue. I'm not sure where it could be widened or more enough, but man, with that traffic light, that's gonna help get that traffic out there a lot faster. You're not gonna have to sit there at a stop sign and wait. It'll be on a synchronized time, it'll keep traffic flowing. A suggestion for the school board, years ago when I went to Boonsboro High School, in fact, most of us up here went to Boonsboro High School, we had 2 dismissal. The bus kids always got to go first, and about 5, 10 minutes later, the people that drove or walked got dismissed. That helped get the school buses out there before all the cars would leave. That seemed to help move the traffic a lot better. So I don't know whether you would want to consider something like that, whether they could even do it. I don't know. It might be a state law that everybody's got to be out at the same time. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a suggestion. So, sure.
I think she's referring to along the elementary school.
Yeah,
It takes up a full lane, so there's really only one way to go there. It's very difficult to get out. That's what
Well, we never had that problem before up through there until COVID came. So once we get pretty clear of COVID, people get more relaxed, maybe we'll start setting them back on the school buses again, instead of parents driving them. And because it's a shame to see all the money the school buses cost, and you only see maybe 2, 3, 5 kids on the buses. It would be nice to see them full again like they used to be. So maybe once if we can get this COVID, now monkeypox, nipped in the bud, maybe parents will be more lenient, feel more comfortable about sending the kids back on the buses. I hope that answered your question. Yes, sir.
12 years of experience. It's not a topic for today, but there are a lot of internal circulation requirements that can be addressed within the Boonsboro campus. Basically, 2.5 lanes being used as 3. So not for tonight again, but.
Okay, thank you. But like we said, we're here tonight for J6 Campus Avenue, Mapleville Avenue. Great. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Well, that's a good question. We hope, I wish I could give you an answer. It was going to start in a month, be finished in a couple months. A lot of it depends on the weather. A lot of it depends on permitting. We have to work with the state highway, with getting the traffic signals on order, get them in. We also have to worry about stormwater management. There's a lot of things that go into developing this. So hopefully it won't take too long. I'd like to see it done before school starts next year or towards the end of school, but it's coming out. We'll work hard to get it done as soon as we can. Any other questions? Very good. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much for your time. And thank you again for coming.